Hey guys, welcome to my coffee talk. Today I'm gonna share with you how I deal with anxiety and stress. I'm not a therapist, I don't have any diploma of psychology, and I don't treat people with anxiety and depression, but what always helped me was to hear other people, regular people, talk about how they deal with their anxiety and stress. That always helped me, and that's why I decided to share that with you guys on how I deal with mine. So the one thing that might help you out a lot is to realize that you're definitely not alone in this. There's not a single person that would be absolutely completely happy all the time. There's not a single person. There's a lot of people who are unhappy. Even people who are super positive and like always seem so happy, even those people feel pain. There's a lot more people than you think that suffer from anxiety, stress. And so I know how it feels when somebody else tells you, yeah, I have anxieties, I stress out and, I feel pain. It's good to hear that. It's good to know that there are other people like you. It makes me feel good, even though I don't wish on anybody to feel pain, but it makes me feel good to know that this is what it's like to be a human being. You're just gonna feel pain, emotional pain, and you're not gonna be always happy, and unhappiness is such a normal part of life, and I came to accept it, and it's like the first step. You have to accept it. You're not gonna be always happy. So acceptance is really important, and I found out for myself that if I accept those feelings fully, when I have some negative feelings that are hurting me emotionally, it's better to just immerse yourself in that horrible feeling. Don't try to run away from it. Don't try to distract yourself from it. Don't try to, act out on it either. Just try to feel it. This is something that I've been practicing, and I'm trying, nowhere near to be perfect, but I'm trying to do that because I noticed a lot of times that really helped me. That was the only thing that helped me. Because once you try to distract yourself from these feelings, you might end up doing things that you later might regret. You might start drinking, you might start taking pills, things like that. That's a distraction that you really don't want to go into. Also, people try to distract themselves by eating. That's how a lot of eating disorders happen, because you try to distract yourself from negative feelings and you start eating your feelings. So you can cause yourself a lot of problems just by trying to avoid negative feelings. So don't try to avoid them, try to really feel them. And if you try to suppress them, like trying to be tough and no, I don't feel this feeling. If you do that, you just start walking around like a ticking bomb, and eventually it's gonna come out ballistic. It's gonna come out eventually, trust me. Also, you don't want to act out on those feelings, even if you're really tempted, and even if you feel like you're justified, do not do it. That's my advice. Just feel the feeling and try not to act out. Well, you might feel like some people triggered you and they deserve you to lash out on them, but still, if you don't do it, you're gonna feel better, because you might later look at it more objectively at the situation and you will realize, I could have handled it a lot better. So try not to act out and lash out on people. Try to, again, feel the feeling and try to breathe through it and then let it go, and it's gonna go away. And in a few minutes, you will be able to see the situation objectively, and you will be able to judge and see for yourself that there's always a way to handle a situation in a calm way. And again, I'm not an expert in it. Doesn't always happen perfectly like this, but this is what I strive for, because I know it's possible. It's possible for everybody, You don't have to be an angry person. You don't have to be somebody with short fuse, or somebody who feels sorry for themselves all the time and acts like a victim and blames everybody else for their own unhappiness. And if you have been acting like that, then it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you just haven't been focusing on being brave despite your emotions. So this is how it works when I try to work through my anxiety. So first, I have to recognize that I'm hooked and that the anxiety is slowly creeping up on me. And I know that's the time when I have to stop myself, because if I keep going, I know I'm gonna either flip out or burst into tears or overreact in another way, and that's not what I want. I wanna stay graceful under pressure. So I tell myself, okay, here we go. I'm gonna feel now the horrible, uncomfortable feeling. It's gonna be like somebody's pulling my teeth out. It's gonna feel like a very painful medical procedure, but you have to sit through it. You have to feel it, you have to welcome it. Just immerse yourself in that feeling. Breathe through it and then let it go. And it's gonna go away. And in just a few minutes, you will be able to look back objectively on that situation situation that gave you the anxiety, and you will see that you are perfectly capable of dealing with your feelings in a healthy way, without drinking, without eating, without lashing out or bursting into tears, that you are capable of being that graceful person even under a horrible pressure. One thing to realize is that those feelings, those negative feelings and anxiety will never go away. Anxiety will always come back. The negative feelings will always come back. They will always find you. You will never be able to get rid of them. It's part of being a human. So if you've been trying to get rid of those feelings, you've been doing it wrong. You just have to accept them and learn to be resilient towards the feelings. You have to learn how to be strong. It's like a muscle memory. It's exactly what it is, you know. You just have to learn how to be strong despite those feelings, and how to be functional despite those feelings, despite the anxiety, and kind of accept it. And you'll see that once you try this and you work through your anxiety once this way, you will be more motivated and curious to do it for the second time. And don't worry if you fail, because you will fail, you know, everybody fails. But that's okay, because the more you practice, the better you get. Practice will make you better. Not perfect, but way better. So besides this major technique that I just shared with you guys, this one is the most important to me. I feel like this one really makes a difference. There are obviously other techniques that will teach you how to unwind and de-stress a little bit. So one of the techniques that I've been enjoying is hypnotherapy or guided meditation. It's very similar in a way, and all you have to do is just put earbuds in your ears and kind of relax. And I'm personally really bad at meditating, so I prefer guided meditation or the hypnotherapy when the person is talking to you and is kind of guiding you through it. And that helps me relax, and that helps me sleep. If I can't sleep, I listen to guided meditation or hypnotherapy, and that puts me to sleep. That just knocks me out completely, and I love it. It really feels good because it kind of works on your subconscious level. Regular therapy, I went to regular therapy, and that just didn't work for me, because I guess maybe because I'm a stubborn person and like nothing goes through. So people had a hard time with me, therapists. I just didn't understand it. I didn't get it. But the hypnotherapy works through your subconscious, and it just kind of like non-invasively changes your perspective of life, and that's really helpful for you stubborn guys out there. Maybe it's the toro in me. Probably that's what it is, the bull. And there's one more really important thing that I want to share with you guys that works really good for me, is when I am willing to be completely vulnerable. And I'm not talking about vulnerable with, you know, just strangers, anybody, or, you know, pouring my heart out on the internet, not at all, but with the person that I have intimate relationship with. So in my case with Jesse, if I just open my heart to him and tell him exactly how I feel, and it's not always easy to do, because when you are opening yourself up to be vulnerable, sometimes you may feel like you're weak, you know, you're showing your weakness, and it's not always comfortable, but it's actually really helpful. And you'll see that the person that you have intimate relationship with, they are there to help you out. Imagine that your loved one would come to you and they will open themselves up and tell you the truth, how they feel. They would suddenly be like a little kid that you really want to help. Nobody will just, you know, look at you like you're weak. Nobody will do that who loves you, right? So it really helps to open myself up and tell him the truth, how I really feel. Because, you know, he can tell anyways that something's wrong with me. You know, if I feel anxiety, Jesse can totally tell, and he will ask me what's up. When you think about it, it's really unfair towards the person that you love, and you lie to them, tell nothing, but they can feel it. They're not, you know, dumb. And especially in a relationship is mostly about non-verbal communication. So just open yourself up, be vulnerable, tell them the truth, the honest truth, and you will see how much more closer you become. You know, every time I open myself up and tell the truth of how I feel even closer to him, because then he knows exactly what to do. He knows that he can comfort me. He knows I'm not mad at him. He knows that it has nothing to do with him, that it's just my fears or anxieties or something. And it's just so nice to have that person there that loves you, and now you feel like they really understand you because you actually told them. People can't read your mind. You have to actually tell them honestly how you feel, and you both gonna feel really good. And now the more shallow things, obviously, that you read in all magazines and online everywhere else is to exercise, eat healthy, you can be creative, you can go for a swim, you can try paint a painting to be creative, you can try to write a book or anything like that. Things like that will help you with stress a little bit. To me, those things are a little bit shallow because they are kind of like a distraction from everything, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, because it is kind of part of that holistic health kind of approach. So you should be doing things that do make you feel better, things that are healthy for you, and that's it. Yeah. So guys, I hope that this kind of helped you. I hope it helped you to know that, you know, I have anxieties too. I might be a positive person, I like to be happy, I like to laugh and all that stuff, but you know, nobody's immune against unhappiness, anxieties, things like that. We all have it and we're all on the same boat. So I hope that helped you a little bit at least, so you can work through any tough times that will arise, and they will arise for all of us. We're all in this together. So guys, that's it for today. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for the next coffee talk, and I will see you either in the Z gym with another workout or back here on YouTube. Ciao!